I wear linen when I read. Today, a thought occurred to me. People believe I only have one pair of pants? I'm not superstitious. I wash them and I don't think they're lucky. They're too big, sometimes hanging off my ass, thin and light, too long for my short legs. The hems are ragged and dirty just the way I like them. The only problem is no damn pockets. I like to write poetry in different forms, and I try to write every day. So I've been experimenting with haibun, haiku, things like that. So this is my 4th of July haibun. Soothing Marley with the loud television and roaring AC, she paces and runs. Visiting friends for grilled ribs, baked potatoes, and conversation. Quiet save for gunshots in the distance. Home by dark, and my name is Inigo Montoya. Love, marriage. Summer holiday, booming weeks culminating, fireworks in my mind. It's interesting to me what comes to mind when you get a prompt. Someone asked me to write a poem about joy, and something I hadn't thought about for, I don't know, years popped into my head. I have a second cousin named Joy. I haven't seen her in years, but once when I was in grade school, I had a day off because of snow and Joy came to visit. We built a snowman. It was the first one I'd ever built. Rolling a tiny ball, collecting the white, growing, building the form with each smaller than the one before. We foraged for stickman arms, the perfect round stone eyes. I didn't know it at the time, but that was joy. And this is called Wasps. It too came from a prompt. What happens when you are given a fistful of wasps, expecting the sweet blossoms of youth to fill your nostrils, inhaling deep the harsh sting, forever weary of a gift, flinching at outstretched hands, unable to trust in any claim of pleasure? You did that once before. And so my poems are short, so you'll hear a lot. Oh, this was written on a hot summer day. I'm not a fan of hair. It's just heavy and hot. And so I had a crisis one day. This is called Call Me Samson. The colossal power of hair with the weight of an anvil and the stifling heat of inferno, a kraken, suffocating madness. My hair has always been my kryptonite, from tears with tangles to headache-inducing ponytails. Sounds a little intense, I know. I don't know why my hair affects me so. Call me Samson, inverted. My hair does not give me power, it drains every ounce. And Delilah, wielding scissors and comb, saves me and all of mankind with a snip.
Yeah, love that.
And here is my favorite haiku. My voice does this thing. The pitch twists and climbs in an instant when I lie. I'll see something anywhere, anytime, and I'll write about it. I was in Columbus, there's a community garden, and I was sitting, drinking water, and a butterfly landed on this piece of blue steel that was there, so I wrote about it. I saw a butterfly land on blue steel, wings closing slowly, so slowly, to the nth degree, fractions before my eyes. worm body flexing in the heat, bright white antenna ends, beacons like searchlights aimed at the sun. The butterfly, orange, black, now purged of the morning dew, in an opposite fraction, took flight, lit upon my chest, and again continued its journey, only stopping momentarily to put on a show for me, who simply happened to be in the right place at exactly the right time yet again. For those of you who know me, know that I have an obsession with cheese. So I was at a poetry workshop, and we were writing a autobiographical poem. And of course, it was asking what our first memory was, and it's cheese. Being very small, pulling on the handle of the refrigerator door until it opens, seeing the bottom half of the eggshell and the built-in egg tray in the door, crystallized egg white and hardened yellow frozen inside, reaching for the Kraft single, getting one, closing the door, the separation of the seals of the wrapper, peeling the plasticine cheese food from it and shoving it in. It stuck to the roof of my mouth. The fridge was beside the front door of the single-wide trailer. The kitchen was always so dark. I don't remember ever eating a meal there. I don't remember the stove ever being turned on. Always lunch meat, Little Debbie's, and Kraft singles. We usually ate meals at Grandma's house. Mom didn't teach me to open the refrigerator door. Dad didn't teach me. I had been born to locate cheese. And my first love was sticky, thin American made with milk, but I'm not sure how much. I opened the door over and over each time I finished a slice and got another. I have graduated to more sophisticated cheese lately. Pork chops and Pepsi. Teeth sink in to the cut of pork and I get lockjaw. Must pry my lips apart. Wash it down with a long draw of pop. The nectar of the gods. Hardly. This is not about pork chops and Pepsi. This is about freedom. Sure, I'm free to walk in the filling station, grab 2 sodas because they're cheaper that way, snatch a Snicker, king size, and a pack of smokes. Swing around the drive-thru for some nuggets and fries. Yes, I'm using the app. I'm as bound as the next guy, justifying it as protein and vegetables, and I'm just too busy. Besides, a vape is better than a cigarette, right? So there's this little thing that friends and I do, and it's called Keeping the Flame Alive. It's we started it as a bi-monthly publication, but now it's just kind of willy-nilly, about every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, whenever. But anyone can submit. It's now in the form of a chapbook. If you want information, then I can give it to you. It takes all kinds, they say, this village of dreamers, drunks, and doers, hallucinations, frustration, and the culmination of self-induced insomnia. Poets sleeping in church pews or their cars, or not at all in the name of community. Celebration of art and the cause to keep the flame alive. The one who lit the fire, passing the torch to the next generation. Who will beat the drum, sound the alarm? They'll burn it to the ground. It's not over, these embers have caught and will spread again, still like wildfire. Altering the landscape like always, because carrying on is the impetus for change. I went on my first cruise a couple weeks ago. Went to Mexico from Tampa, Florida. I didn't really know what to expect on the cruise. You see things on TV about cruise ships and such, and I don't know, I guess I thought it would not be as cruisy as it was. But when we went up to the pool deck, it was every bit as cruisy as it was. So I wrote every day, sometimes more than once, and while I was there. And this is cruise number 1. It's even more what I thought it would be than what I thought it would be. A reggae band and a hip-hop DJ, a guy eating an ice cream cone doing the electric slide, and a chick salsa dancing to Usher. But the engine's breathy hum and gravity's pull as we rock, the cool, salty breeze and lapping crest romance me as the sun draws toward the horizon. Life always seems to throw me curveballs. What once lured me in and the things that scared me so are now a juxtaposition. And this is cruise number 3. ABBA plays on the pool deck while I drag on my cigarette. The ship starts to buzz somewhere in the gulf between worlds. I wonder if the fish hear the hum and if they're pissed. And this was the scariest part of my cruise. I didn't necessarily write these in the order that they happened. Cruise number 5. Cruise, day 1, set sail. Standing right beside the bridge. Horn blast, soul exits. Scared me to death. Cruise number 7. My eyes are crusty from the salty air. 2 small sacrifices for time on the water. My sea legs are steady and the sky is turning pink. The sun is out there somewhere. I wrote this in the airport on the way back because the life I used to live, I would have never done a fraction of the things that I do now out of fear. Most people, not all, have transitioned to a virtual world. I've transitioned from a life in the stands peanut gallery, the outside looking in. Ruled by 1,000 forms of fear, yet claiming bravery, I hid behind the veil, watching the world revolve around me. A steady diet of anxiety with a side of paranoia and tears for dessert. The journey wasn't always smooth, yet I'm here to tell it. Today, I sit, I stand, I walk and limp through each adventure, not without concern, for confident does not mean foolish. If my fate were some unbearable end, I'd have met it long ago. So like I said, I try to write every day, and sometimes it's just not a wonderful day or a particularly interesting day, so I write anyway. I'm not very inspired today, a little tired but feeling better than yesterday. I'm in that weird middle space, kind of foggy from the cold that drained away in the night, leaving behind a hacking cough that lasted from 3 to 4. My eyes are puffy and the headache has left a strange cavernous sensation just under my scalp, like I could sink and float away both at once. My bones don't hurt like usual, not sure what that's about. Could be the steady diet of Tylenol. Today I'll take it, that reprieve. I'm in one of those moods, not bad, no mood. We'll just see what happens, where the day goes. I know where I'd like it to go. I think about words a lot and what they mean and what I'm trying to say. As I took off my clothes and stepped into the shower, I thought about words. Not a rare occurrence, maybe I'm weird. I wondered, why can't life be whelming? Frequently I'm overwhelmed, at times I'm even under. As I lathered, rinsed, repeated, I searched my memories, trying to recall an instance I'd heard someone say whelm. I'm sure it's a word. In my head it sounds as though. I pull back the curtain, towel dry and dress, consult the god of information. Overwhelm, give too much of a thing, inundate. Underwhelm, fail to impress, disappoint. Whelm, an instance of heaping up abundantly, a surge. Perplexed and underwhelmed at what I've found, whelm is not the word I'm looking for any amount of whelming isn't pleasant. So what's the term? I've found a few. Bland, dull, vanilla. I'll have one of each. And this is a true story. An abandoned grocery list in a random shopping cart, the one we just happened to choose. I have a good idea what they're making, but wonder if the liquor will go into the pie. Or will it accompany the dessert, a toast at the end of the day? We searched for much different ingredients. Every berry, spinach, yogurt, cayenne, black pepper. Blender whirring under a conversation about food and the world. No booze or salt on the rim. Now craving the gifts of the earth, a magic potion that works every time. Fresh and spicy like the one who prepares it, with a kick of sweetness to finish. It was a spicy and sweet fruit smoothie with a huge glob of Nutella in the bottom of it. I'll read a few from my book. I thought this was appropriate for our proximity to IU. This was not at IU. It was at Purdue. Don't tell anybody, but I didn't graduate from there. So, making it to Kentucky. A house party, duplex full of college kids. We had a little money and decided on a treat. A keg. I've never liked beer, but you and all the others. The epitome of cool. I was a Jim Beam sort of girl, but always happy to oblige for a friend. I got a bottle, shot after shot, long before dark. I don't recall the night. When daytime beckons, the clock is ticking on that deposit. But the precious liquid gold at the bottom of the barrel, I spy with my little eye a gallon-sized glass iced tea jug bearing a spigot. Clear with the red outline of Indiana, the perfect size, held the remainder of that keg, save for one solo cup, the hair of the dog that bit you. I've got to make it to Kentucky, you said, and you did. My best friend Richard at the time, he said he had to make it to Kentucky, which was the bottom of the Indiana outline on the tea jug with the remainder of the keg. And this is barely holding it together. If Flex Seal makes a screen door into a worthy sea vessel, can it stop my eyes from leaking? Can I caulk the cracks in my heart? Gorilla glue and duct tape to tame my wild emotions. Strong adhesives to hold it all together, because the cracks are beginning to spider. This will take more than some school glue or spit. Call in the reinforcements, rivets, rebar, steel. Gonna put a roll cage around my heart. No more bruises or getting banged up in a race with the top down. Sherman tank, that'll get me to the finish line in one piece. Slow and steady. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The basketball. I packed and left when you said it's over, even though you were gracious enough to give me a day. Thank God my friend answered. She's usually too busy. I was in my new home before you returned from the lawyer, unloading my crap with bloodshot eyes, tears like rapids. 30-gallon body bags with drawstrings, the luggage of a drifter always moving on. I've never needed a cigarette like I did that morning after. Backing down my new driveway in search of nicotine, my tires hesitated. Lurching over an unknown obstacle, I panicked. Nothing in the rearview mirror, no advance warning like the news I wasn't wanted. Shifting into drive, it should have been flattened, my tires hesitated. Lurching over the unknown obstacle, it felt the same as it always had. I saw it clearly, the orange and black basketball fully pumped up, like my red and black heart, regardless of being run over. And this is for all of us. Bad acting. Around these parts, they have a new way of saying you're different. To soften the blow, they say eclectic. Old soul, they say unique. Tiptoeing around the word weird. What happens when you love weird? When you take it as a compliment? What's wrong with different? Why would anyone want to be a carbon copy? Why would I want to be just like you in the collective us of every damn day? It takes more courage to live their life and not mine. People think actors are the richest and most rare. Acting, the most prolific occupation, least paid profession, working their asses off pretending, acting happy, fulfilled, maximum hours for minimum pay. There's wealth in weird, abundance in odd, pockets full of stones and a heart-pumping ink. Precious commodities more valuable than paper money. Throwing around love and kindness instead of nickels and dimes. I wish we were all a little more weird, a little more different. Free to be authentic. Happiness is the key to compassion. Weird concept, wouldn't that be different? Thanks.